One thing I have learned throughout all my life experiences is that things are not always what they seem. The people around me might think I really enjoy their company or their presence, but in reality, most of the time, I don't, and I want to be in my room. That's right, Jordan. I don't like you. Leave me alone after biochem. I want to go home. Thank God he doesn't watch my videos. My point is, Oresuki highlights this point in the first episode fantastically. We see time and time again our background main character be fooled by our alluring cast. He thinks it's his time to be confessed to, only to be heartbreakingly fooled. These would-be confessions turn into pleas for assistance to not get with our main character, but with his best friend. Oh, the humanity. Besides being hilarious, all these misleading situations lead to the best scene at the end of episode 1. That being Jodo's encounter with undoubtedly the best girl of the show, Pansy. I'm going to analyze this scene and how it works with the story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe or else my mascot and Cosmos will be sad. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. I'm Breather, your local degenerate, and in today's video we're going to analyze the best scene from the first episode of Oresuki. The scene I'm referring to is the climax of episode 1. This includes the introduction of Pansy and her, unique confession. I strangely resonate with eccentric characters like her. I wonder why. So first things first, I want to talk about her character introduction in the eyes of Jodo. With each character, we get a backdrop of things they are associated with. Sunflowers for Hinamori, cherry blossoms for Cosmos. Sun is just shown being a typical baseball player. We see that Pansy is represented as a quiet nerdy girl with a backdrop of glasses and books. A recurring theme of this show is that there is more than meets the eye. If you pay close enough attention, every representation of each character is proved to be a false identity that Jodo associates them with. Sunflowers represent a bright, cheery personality that is pure and bright as they always face the sun. Himawari exploits this look. I quote, "She toyed with innocent little me, exploiting our status as childhood friends," in reference to her friendly nature towards Jodo to guarantee he would help her with setting herself up with Sun. Cherry blossoms represent a very mature, refined personality as these flowers are an elegant sight that can be seen throughout the springtime in Japan. Cosmos uses a very immature tactic to make Jodo feel inclined to help her no matter what. So when we get this quiet, nerdy, withdrawn girl in Pansy, we have to expect that she is more than meets the eye. As Pansy reveals her knowledge of Jodo's predicament, we get a glimpse of a book called The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's quite funny because I actually read this book for my college English class. You see, the book Pansy carries around almost always carries weight in the story, and this book is no exception. In the book, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are two sides of the same coin. They are in fact the same person. Dr. Jekyll being the good part of this coin, and Mr. Hyde being the evil part. This book lines up with Jodo perfectly. You see, Jodo puts on a nice oblivious rom-com act in front of Himawari and Cosmos because he thinks this will get him his own rom-com lifestyle. The real Jodo is in fact a very mean-spirited man with not so pure intentions. So as you can see, Jodo is a great example of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. As Jodo converses with Pansy, we learn that she is in fact stalking Jodo this whole time. Honestly, I have to admit, I thought I caught every time she was on screen stalking Jodo, but nope. It's almost like a game of Where's Waldo in every scene with her. That's another cool aspect of this show that I really enjoyed, even if it's kind of creepy that she was stalking him. The comedy in this scene was the best I've seen in a long time for rom-coms. The anime makes sure to include our secret main character every chance they get. He's just so alluring, how can they not? Obviously a big selling point to the whole show. If you can't tell, I'm obviously talking about no one better than Bench-kun, the sexiest bench in anime. But seriously, how much emphasis Oresuki puts on this bench really turns a generic anime trope into comedy gold. After Bench-kun's fated arrival, we have Pansy's confession. This scene is the climactic finish this whole episode was building towards. As the scene progresses, we see the same formulaic pattern. Step 1. Would you sit next to me? Check. Step 2. Jodo plops his bottom on the bench. Check. Step 3. Girl says, "There's someone I like." Check. Step 4. When I think about them, my chest feels tight. Check. Alright, all according to plan so far. Step 5. Tell Jodo you want his help to get with Sun. Wait, what? Jodo finally gets the confession he was seeking this whole episode, but not from Hinawari or Cosmos, but from Pansy. You see, this moment is so important because this establishes an imaginary line in the sand. Jodo is assisting these two other girls with their relationship with Sun. He is the metaphorical camel in this situation. But with Pansy's confession, she aligns herself with Jodo. This moment not only begins a newfound relationship in the library, but a vital one to the story. I also want to point out the extra comedic additions they put into this scene. It really just puts the cherry on top of it all. Jodo exclaiming in his mind Sun's name hoping for a repeat was hilarious. Don't even get me started on the reimagined screen painting. If all this charm really doesn't sell you to watch more of the series, I don't know what will. This next part is my favorite moment of the whole episode. What I love about Pansy so dearly is that she is able to see through people so easily. At the tail end of her confession, Jodo replies to her with his rom-com protagonist persona, only to be met with a halt. She doesn't like this persona, rather she enjoys the real Jodo. That's why she wants to talk to Mr. Hyde, the evil, not so pure of heart Jodo, the real him. This is the first time in the whole series that a character has fallen in love in a deeper way than just appearances. I think that is what makes me love Pansy so much from the start. Seeing her face light up when he dropped the fake tone was absolutely adorable. There is so much to love about this one moment in episode 1. The build up to this ending was well worth the payoff. The comedy was fantastic. Pansy is that wild eccentric girl that will make people gravitate towards her. I sure as heck did. With that wraps up my Oresuki episode 1 best moment analysis. Did you think that this was the best moment, or do you have something else in mind? Let me know down below and we can talk about it. If you really enjoyed this video, then definitely consider subscribing. Judging by how this is received, we can cover the best moment of episode 2. Well, thank you for watching. I'll be heading off now. Breathe your local degenerate, signing off. Sayonara, friends.